Hello, my friends, and to all the culinary enthusiasts. If anyone is watching this video, I'm telling about a book I found on the internet, the Book of Eels. This is the Book of the Eels, and I would simply say for every uh, person who is doing wants to learn cooking and have a better scope. I know this book is not, I have not read it properly, but since I'm going to venture in the five-star hotels and doing my job training, I would be doing my training and learning side by side. But I want to tell this book is very amazing. In this book, it is written by Francis T. Lynch. I'm very well thankful to the writer. And this is book that describes everything about the uh, how much the things are put in the recipe and how to measure the uh, ingredients yields and how this affects the how to measure the very minute weights and what is the I would simply tell you about the syllabus. You may imagine that what is the inside the book. You may download it on the Google, and it is very beneficial for your career and advancement in your knowledge. It tells about dry herbs and spices and fresh herbs, produce, vegetable, fruit, canned foods, and canned food weight to volume. The other thing is that there is weight to volume. Uh, there is a difference between weight and the volume of something. And starchy food, dry legumes, rice, grains, and cereals, pasta, baking items, fat oils and condiments, liquids, dairy, beverages, meat, seafood, poultry, the proper use of cans, scopes, and hotel pans, and shift tray in costing, measurement conversion, simple formula, standard portion sizes, the workbook, price lists, guide to costing. There are different things. I simply want to tell that yield is something that as a as a cook you often do not focus on the yield or of the food that you cook, and you may skip the part of the yield. What is the yield of the food that you are cooking? What is the yield of the ingredients and things that are you using in the cooking of the food? And it is very necessary to measure the yield. It helps in controlling the purchase and the maintaining generating profit in the kitchen. I may simply say that I'm an aspiring cook and aspiring businessman, and I'm a student currently, and I'm not so much focused on my career in the earning of the money strategy. But and if you are a very good cook and very good chef and earning ton of money, and you must go through this book, I would simply say, go on the Google and download it. So this the writer describes that he was very thankful to all the people. A number of restaurateurs and chefs were included while writing this book. We must learn from the people who have written books and for our development, and so that we may develop the new culinary world, and we may go a far one step ahead from the people who are there are number of billions of people who are cooking. You can go through a walk and you may find there are a number of cooks. That how will you uh, like say to the people or explain to the people that how are you a bit special and bit different from the other people? You have to make a present something. You have to read. You need to have hobbies. Okay, in the introduction, I'm not going into the depth. You may find and it's part of my art of speech program. And the books of ills is a collection of food measurements you can use to help you cost recipes and figure out how much food to buy. Amazing thing. This how much food to buy is the food cost is a basic cost of every household, restaurant, business. It does not matter you are running iron business or a textile business. You are catering to the staff who are working there. You are running a hospital. or anywhere you are going, anywhere in the any nook and the corner of the world, if there is a human civilization, then you are going to have a food cost. Therefore, you need to figure out how much food to buy. Because if we waste the food, we are wasting the revenue. You are earning the money capital, you are earning day by day. And if you do not focus on that, you may know that life is a long process, a long journey, and therefore it would be depleting your lot of capital. This sort of knowledge isn't the most glamorous or exciting aspect of the cookery. Mostly people forget that this is not so important, that the yield, what is the importance of yield of the cooking. But you may ask the managers of the restaurant, what is the importance of yield? What is the importance of the yield of the things they buy? What would happen if the yield decreases? They will make you understand that's why it's so important. Like when I was from running my business, and my friends say that it was very small business, but I simply say that it does not matter how much, what is the level of your investment. The uh, the practice and art of the cooking is irrespective of the capital invested in the business. So it is this information is, but knowing this, the information of the yield, it is written in the book that it is very helpful for the successful chef, more successful chef, or food and beverage manager. There is a difference between successful chef and more successful chef, and a food and beverage manager and successful food and beverage manager. There are very minute differences. Knowing yields and equivalents will help you write recipes that are fast and easy to follow, and that are accurately costed out. I was cooking a very small dish called samosa, but I used to measure everything. Used to measure everything and everything in that point. That was for the reason that I wanted to practice this, because I remember that MLT, mass, length, and temperature, time, is an amazing thing in the physics, and food is a physical thing. It is not something beyond the physicality, and therefore it is the measurements are very necessary. And why this is so important? A chef buys most of food by weight, by pound or kilogram, whereas most cooks prefer to use volume measures. There is a difference, chefs buy the pound or kilogram, and the most cooks prefer to use volume measures, such as tablespoons, cups, pints, squats, and so on. A chef is buying in a bulk, and cook is cooking in a small amounts. It's just quicker and easier to measure a cup of sugar or a tablespoon of salt than it is to weigh everything. Like when we add something into the dish we are cooking, we would add a pinch of the salt or a spoon. It's like in their habit, we know that this much amount is that. So these are all the differences. Although it is easy to write to or follow a recipe that uses volume measure, the tricky part is posting out a volume of food that you buy by weight. Why? Because a cup of one food does not weigh the same as a cup of another food. For instance, a cup of cracked pepper weighs 4 ounces, but a cup of honey weighs 12 ounces. There were the cups used are same, but the things that are cooked, that are weighed, are different. Densities are different. So you have to know more about how many ounces of food are in one cup in order to assign a cost to the cup of food in your recipe. So this is the part, and I would like to end this video, and I will simply say there is no benefit in making long videos since currently there are very less viewers. But this is ounces versus fluid ounces. In United States, a pint equals 16 fluid ounces of anything. Coincidentally, a pound equals 16 ounces. So it sounds like a pint is pound. You have no doubt heard the familiar saying, a pint's pound the world around. Well, in fact, a pint is not a pound. Why not? Because a fluid ounce is not a weight ounce. Fluid ounces are measures of volume. A volume refers to a space, not a weight. And when you are speaking of volume, as in a tablespoon, a cup, or a gallon, the ounces they contain are fluid ounces and are always labeled as such. That tells you how big the space is. For instance, a cup equals and fluid ounces of a space. A pint holds 16 fluid ounces of space, and a quart 32 fluid ounces, and a gallon 128 fluid ounces. No matter what food is in the cup, pint, quart, or gallon, the ounces that we measure by weight are simply called ounces. These ounces are properly known as overdepois. Ounces. Overdepois is a French term that means goods of weight. The overdepois, ounce, and the pound were assigned a particular value as used in general trade commerce and are different from the ounces and pounds used by professions working in jewelry and chemical apothecary fields. As just stated, this when working with weight ounces, simply use the word ounce. However, when working with volume rather than weights, always use fluid ounce as the correct description. There is a big chart that is given in this book. You may go through it. So I will go from the something last point. There is a number of the measurement conversions in this book, and simple formulas are given. Simple formulas or to convert tablespoon per ounce, you can convert it. Standard portion sizes. What must be the standard portion sizes? Factors that cause chefs and managers to use portion sizes other than those shown in or below are the age and gender of the guest. Young adults are likely to require larger portions than the seniors. Males tend to have bigger appetites than females. The activity level of the guest. Athletes burn more fuel than the sedentary diners, so may need larger portions. The time lapse between meals. A guest at an afternoon reception may have skipped lunch and be hungrier. A cocktail reception that is followed by a full meal dictates a smaller portion. So these are the major points I want to say, that you must go through this book, and you must not take this point lightly, since my journey has just started in this food industry. And if you want to have a good career and want to develop yourself, you need to go through this book. I would be going again and again, and you need to go through this book again and again. Thank you.